Okay, here we go then. Episode 9 of the MEE-FIT podcast. Hello everybody. Today I'm here with Ali, who is a client here at MEE-FIT. It's been training with us now for around 6 months. 6 months. Yeah, I thought it'd be good to get you on. It's been, from our side of things, it's been great having you in the gym these last 6 months. You brought a real energy and enthusiasm. Like when I walked into the gym this morning, what time did you train this morning? 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So I got here about 10 to 9. And the first thing I saw when I walked through the doors was you giving it a good big clap and a woo for everybody and energy, which is brilliant. And we'd love to see that. Hence why we asked you on to share a little bit about your time with us so far. So could you, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself a little bit to everybody who's listening?
Yeah, so I am Alison Edwards. I have been training here at MEE-FIT for 6 months. I am 58, going on 25. I live in Malpas with my husband and my daughter, who's 15.
Perfect. So, yeah, what was going on for you prior to MEE-FIT? So let's view it over the last couple of years in terms of your health and fitness. Like, where were you at when you started with us?
Okay, so I had started trying to lose weight. So when at my heaviest, I don't mind sharing because I think it's quite inspiring. But I was 17 stone. So I'd put quite a lot of weight on during lockdown. I think quite a lot of people can probably relate to that.
Definitely.
So I started off I joined Slimming World for a little while, tried to just concentrate on trying to get my food in kind of, in a good way. And it worked a little bit, but I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And I kept sort of falling off the wagon and that sort of thing. And so I'd lost a couple of stone maybe, I think. So when I started here, I think I was about, maybe 15 and a half-ish.
Okay.
And I just wanted to try and get my energies because I was suffering in terms of energy levels. I think I said in my first video that most nights I was falling asleep, dribbling in the chair. That was kind of my usual watching TV and sort of thing. So I've been following you on social media. And I thought, right, I'm going to give it a go, see how I get on. So that's kind of what inspired me to come.
Nice. So when did you start the Slimming World then? So because you joined here, what was it, early 2024, this year we're in now. When did you first start with the nutrition changes?
So I don't mind, as I think I said before we started, that I would share my story a little bit. So my husband had a catastrophic brain injury in 2020, late 2020. So just before Christmas. And at that time, I was at my heaviest then, I think. And I think that started when he was recovering, I think it became, I knew that I would have to look after him. That was kind of my main reasoning, if you like, that there might be quite a lot of, helping in terms of lifting and that sort of thing. Yeah. And I just wanted to get fitter to look after him. That was kind of my main goal, I think. So he came home in the February 2021, and it was hard work. He was quite poorly. So I think that's when I started Slimming World, around about the March time, maybe, to try and lose a little bit of weight because I just, I was out of breath and and obviously what happened to Mike, he was pretty fit and he was still playing football and all that kind of thing, and it just those type of things when they happen do make you appreciate looking after your body and how. Even he was quite fit, as I said, and he never smoked, he never drank, and it was just one of those things. It was just unfortunate, but it does make you question your own body and how you're looking after yourself, at our stage of life. So that's what started. So it was about say March 2022 when I joined Slimming World, and I did it for about a year, I think. Yeah. And as I said, I lost a couple of stone, but it was a bit sort of up and down, and I couldn't get a handle on my bad habits, I think. That was my main sort of thing that I was struggling with. What were some of those habits that you were struggling with? Yeah, so when I was tired, you reach for the chocolate bar, don't you? Okay. And that was me. That was my way of... And if I was stressed, I'd have a cup of tea and a piece of cake, And so then the weight I'd lose a couple of pounds, then I'd gain a pound, and it was just up and down a lot, and I didn't seem to be making a lot of progress for like a year. I was doing that sort of thing. Yeah. So why do you think you kept falling off the wagon then? What do you think was missing at that time for you to stay a little bit more consistent? I think just not seeing any changes in my body shape, still, even though I was trying to be good in terms of not having, it's a snacking, it was definitely a snacking for me.
Yeah.
I just wasn't getting a handle on it. I wasn't seeing changes in my body. I wasn't really feeling any stronger. I still felt quite lethargic a lot.
But it was only nutrition you changed at that point. You hadn't started exercising or anything.
Walking, I've got 2 little dogs, so I've always walked the dogs.
Yeah.
But I guess because your body's used to you doing that lot of walking, that wasn't making any difference either, really. So
you were walking a lot, you were changing your nutrition, but not quite getting the outcomes that you were looking for. So that's when you thought maybe you need to try something else.
Yeah, exercise, definitely. Yeah. Because I have done a bit of, I was sporty when I was younger, but the only kind of real exercise that I did carrying on was sort of in my 30s and 40s. I did a bit of running. Yeah. And that did seem to obviously work for me, because wasn't until I sort of got into my sort of early 40s and stopped running after I had Gwen, my daughter, that I didn't get back to running, that I started to put weight on. And so up until that point I'd always been okay. Yeah. So I thought, right, now's the time perhaps to try and do something a bit more with exercise. Yeah.
Enter MEE-FIT. So you said you followed us on socials for a little while.
Yeah.
Was there anything that initially captured your attention, or was there anything that led you to us particularly that you can remember? Or
I think the age bracket in terms of who was coming to the gym, because I think we all feel the same. It can be intimidating, can't it? Yeah. Especially when you're older, and if you're going into a gym where there's a lot of younger people that are really fit, and there's the mirrors and all that kind of.
Have you experienced that before? Or is that,
definitely. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I joined Carden Park, for example, probably twice, I think, over the last probably 5 or 6 years. Cost me about £300 each swim I had. Because I went to the gym maybe, and there just was. It's just the thing about MEE-FIT, I think more than anything, is the fact that you're nurtured. I know that's probably, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but that's how I feel. I feel really nurtured. Yeah. You never feel alone. You come in, there's always someone encouraging you. There's always someone just, if you feel like you're not doing it right, they're there to guide you. And I've never had that before in any gym. Yeah. You feel like you're going in and you could be in the gym for an hour yourself, and you might not see anybody, and you're doing what you think you should be doing, but are you doing the right thing? Whereas now, when every session, even this morning, I've been coming for 6 months. I was doing one exercise, and Emily came over and she said, just change my arm movement, and I just said to her, God, I can't believe I'm just doing that wrong. I knew it didn't feel right, but
that'll never change though. Like, I've been training consistently myself for 15 years, and I still get coached by our team, and they still tell me do this or do that, because you get a little bit lazy, you get a little bit like, I'll be all right, that type of thing sets in. I know for more clients here, it's often they don't really know necessarily, but even later down the line, you'll still have that experience. Or it might just be, actually, come on, get a bit more weight on that bar, or get the bigger dumbbells. Emily does that to me all the time. I bloody hate training her most of the time.
I know. So it's funny. It's like I was putting weights on doing a leg weight, and she's like, you need another 15 kilos on there, Al. And I was like, do I? She's like, yes, your legs are really strong. You need to put some more weight on. Nice. So, that's great.
That's one of the things that I think we always find is, I think people are more capable than they think they are when it comes to the gym. It's just they don't necessarily know what to do. And it's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, I'd say for a lot of existing clients and any people that we chat with who are interested in starting with us, most of them have tried, the more like spa type gym facility, where you've got the nice gym, you've got the pool, you've got the sauna. And for most clients we've experienced, they generally find that they end up in the pool or in the sauna because they don't necessarily know what to do in that gym, and they don't know how to use those facilities. So although it's nice that they've got all these extra fancier sort of things that they can go and do, it kind of maybe distracts a little bit from the actual thing that they should be doing, which is doing the exercise. Saunas are great, very relaxing, but they're not going to have a long-term impact on your body. They feel good at the time, but so that's interesting. And cost-wise, I think, that's obviously a big concern for people starting with us, but like we've heard from many a person who's joined a gym like that, and they end up paying however much. And although it's maybe less than what we charge, it still ends up very expensive when you don't go. 100%. You don't use it. So
100%, yeah.
Cool. So how did you feel about the thought of getting started here then? Maybe you'd either reached out on email or website, I can't remember exactly, but what was kind of, how are you feeling about the thought of joining a gym or going into a new environment?
I mean, I did feel really apprehensive. I know that, I am a fairly confident woman, but that is, I did feel, I can remember having that kind of anxiety, thinking, it's a woman thing. I just felt really fat. I felt really self-conscious. I didn't really want to put leggings on. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that, the inner mind working of a woman's brain, that's what you're thinking, how you're going to look, whether everyone's going to be looking at you. And it's not until you kind of are in this environment and you're working out and you're coming to, to work your body, to make changes, that actually nobody's looking at you. Nobody is looking at you. Nobody cares. I mean, occasionally somebody will say, "Ooh, like your leggings," or that kind of thing, because that's what we do. But generally speaking, you're not looking, are you, at that other person's what they look like, what their body shape is, because all you're concerned about is what you're doing. How you're getting on. I'm interested in what I can now lift. What I look at stats. Hello, how did that happen?
Who is this person?
Who is this person that checks, her MyZone email, waits for it to come in after she's finished? My God, that's madness, isn't it? But yes, but you do. You're concentrating on your own goals. Definitely. And on your own achievements and the small wins as well. It's lovely when you get that email through and like you said, to remember you badgering me to get my zone set up, didn't you? You kept saying, next time you come in the gym, you better have that on. And I can remember thinking, well, what's that going to do? What's that going to help with? But actually, you find yourself. I'm not obsessed, but I look forward to the looking at all the different colours and what zones I've been in.
So I mean, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know what that is, so MyZone is a heart rate monitoring system. We've used it here now for, I think, coming up 6 years. I remember we had it in our old gym. I think it was 2018 that we first started, and it's a great tool. It's not the be all and end all, but we generally find the people who use it and use it regularly, it definitely boosts their motivation. It encourages them during the sessions. It encourages some people to do more activity outside of their sessions as well. If they're trying to hit a certain points target throughout the month, they might think, right, I'm going to go on a slightly longer dog walk today because I want to, increase my points, or they might go for a jog or whatever, whatever. So it's definitely a nice tool to have in our arsenal of things that we can use to help clients be successful. So that's cool to hear. So you made that start then, it was around about March, late February, March time.
Yeah.
How did you feel over the first couple of weeks? What were your kind of initial impressions of everything here?
I loved it straight away. I loved the first session. I remember going out thinking, I'm going to really like this.
Good. Who took your first one?
Tommy.
Good lad. Well done, Tommy.
Lovely Tommy. He was brilliant. And he was, again, nurturing. That's the best word I think I can use. Yeah, just really encouraging and just at the end of it, he was, how'd you get on? And did you enjoy that? And look forward to seeing you again and all that kind of stuff. And I felt great. I mean, I was shattered. I remember getting in the car thinking, oh my goodness gracious me. And then, like you say, the first sort of few weeks, I mean, I was just so sore. But not in a bad way. No. I know that sounds mad too, because it's like a nice sore, isn't it? It's like you feel like you've worked hard, you're aware of it, aren't you? Coming down the stairs was interesting the first couple of sessions. I'm not going to lie, I was hanging on a bit.
It does get better though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and quickly. Within a couple of weeks, there was odd times when obviously any new exercise, any muscle that hadn't been used, you're aware of it. But I felt like it came on quicker. I didn't feel like I was in pain for a long time. Good.
So good. Immediately felt at home then and felt. Yeah. What was it about the environment that you felt so positive about? Do you feel? I
mean, everybody's just so welcoming. We're all here for the same reason. Everyone's very smiley, and people that you haven't because obviously the sessions, because I work and everyone's got different setup, but I work shifts. So some weeks I could come. So I'm not consistent on the sessions that I go to. Yes, so I'm not seeing the same people all the time. So that's nice too. You're meeting new faces, and everybody always goes, "Oh, hi, you new, and how long are you getting on?" and that sort of thing. And that's lovely, isn't it? That's so nice that everybody's so friendly, and just meeting all the MEE-FIT family, meeting all the trainers. Great. I love everyone. I don't look at any sessions, and I mean, obviously.
Here we go.
When you see Dan's there, you think, oh God, We're really out to know, only joking. Everybody's just the same. Everybody's very encouraging, and it's just a big family. I think.
Excellent.
It's lovely.
Excellent.
So nice.
Do you have a preference on time of day? I know you can't vary. You need to vary a little bit. Do you have anything that you prefer?
I personally prefer to come in the morning.
Yeah.
Because obviously my life with having Mike at home and everything, he has carers that come and help. But if I've been working, and because I do have carers, but you're still involved because it's my husband, and so I like to be involved. So my life's full on.
Yeah.
It is full on. I've got family. I've got home, got washing and ironing and all that kind to do. So but if I come to like a 5 o'clock session, which sometimes I do if I've been working, I don't feel like I can work quite as hard because I'm a little bit more tired. So if I can, I try and come in the morning.
Yeah,
I find that's better for me. But I don't miss. I try not to. I try and do 4 sessions if I can a week.
I was just going to ask you that actually. You said 4 is your sort of target.
My target.
Because you tend to do 2 or 3 of like the more strength-based sessions, and then you do usually endurance once a week, don't you?
Once a week or sometimes twice.
Yeah.
And then I like to try and do the Saturday team, which I was slow coming to that because I was scared. Not scared. That's the wrong word. But I can remember. I think I came to a mobility on a Saturday and remember coming a little bit early and watching the Saturday, thinking, "Oh my goodness, they're so fit, everybody." But I remember you saying to me, "No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just try it, and you can go at your own pace." Which, when someone says that to you, you think, "Oh yeah, of course I can."
I know.
But it's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can.
Yeah.
You can.
And we always try and put people. Often we do it. It's like a team workout, don't we? We always try and put people in a group who we feel will be well suited with each other. But even if we didn't do that, we haven't got anyone who would ever say, "Oh, what?" Like it's just not that type of environment at all. We don't have a very competitive nature. I think people are competitive themselves. They want to do the best they can and beat their last scores or all those things, but it's never with each other or in a negative way. So, but even so, we always try and put people in a group who we feel are going to work well. And I know you've been for a few of those sessions now and done really, really well. So that's been really, really positive. And when you mentioned about being busy, I think that was potentially one of the big reasons I wanted you to come on, because obviously we know a little bit about what goes on outside with your husband and work and having a daughter of 15 and all these things. And it's, we have so many people who reach out to us interested in making a change, but they're too busy, and we're always in the mindset that, there's always a way to make it possible. There's always a way to make it work. Why do you feel you've been able to do that with being as busy as you are and having so much going on? Why do you feel you've been able to be as consistent and successful with it as you have been?
Again, the flexibility of all the different sessions, which I love. There's the sessions all throughout the day. And the sessions that you like. So if you do prefer, like the endurance, obviously it's a bit more cardio, if that's what you prefer to do. But there's some in the morning, some in the evening. So there's always time to fit it in. And I think once you start and you have all those endorphins that go and you feel, it makes you feel great. You feel absolutely great after you've done. I do feel fantastic. And I feel on the days that I can't fit it in, because things do happen for me, things come up and sometimes I have to cancel if Mike's not feeling great or I don't feel like I want to leave him or that sort of thing. I feel really disappointed. I feel disappointed that I haven't been able to come. So I think and when you're here, because of all the encouragement, because of all the positivity and the nurturing and everything, you feel great when you're here. So you want to come. I was just saying to a friend of mine today that I feel like I'm a bit of a gym bore. Because
a gym
not a gym bore. Not a baby bore, I'm a gym bore now. Because I talk about it all the time, that's what I talk about. I'm turning into like somebody who's a bit dull. Talking about the gym, and I've just come back from being on holidays, been to Tenerife for a week and not being able to go. I mean, how sad is that? I really missed it. I really missed it. I couldn't wait. I came back on Friday late and I'd already booked to come on Saturday morning because I really wanted to get back.
That's good.
So that's, and I did. I really missed it. I felt brilliant. Obviously I was having a lovely holiday and I was with friends and it was fabulous. But I did. I missed it.
I think it's the difference though, for anyone who's listening and thinking, what a saddo? I think it's the difference between actually enjoying the training and 100%. Having it as something that's positive rather than something that you hate or you dread or you can't, so many people do view their exercise as something that they've never found something that they actually enjoy. So the minute they don't have to do it anymore, it's like, oh, thank God. They're doing it out of reluctance rather than actual yes, I'm doing it because I've got a need to do it, but I also actually enjoy it and get a lot of benefit from it. So that's
a first, definitely for me.
Yeah.
A first that I actually come. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times that I'm tired, and my son, who's 30, he trains and has done quite a lot of strength training for a while. He trains in Chester, and he said to me the other day, "Oh my God, Mum, I'm so proud of you. I can't tell you how proud I am." And he said, honestly, when you started, I remember thinking, oh, here we go.
Oh, that's good.
And he said, I did not think that you would stick at it. And he said, I just can't believe how consistent you've been. And he said, and look at him. I mean, he's just he's adorable, such a sweet boy. But he just goes, "You look fantastic." Yeah. He's like, "You're amazing." It's just, and apparently I'm a different mum. Who knew? But he said, your mood's better. You seem to cope with all the because as I said, I'm not woe is me, because that's my life, and I'm happy. My life. I've got a good life. I've got lots to be thankful for. But it is a hard life. It's a hard life, And he said it just makes. He says that I'm like a different person because I seem to be able to cope with the things that happen. Better.
Yeah.
He said you just seem to be able to just let things sort of float. I don't know whether I was a bit of a screaming mum before, maybe I was.
I'm sure you were.
No,
I'm sure
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but no, I know what you mean.
It's that whole thing, isn't it? It affects your mental health 100%.
Yeah.
And if you've got, stress in your life, I am now 100% an advocate of, exercise definitely helps with all of those things. Yeah.
Love that. Well, I don't want to make this too focused around the kind of the results that you've experienced in terms of body shape and all that, because there's so much beyond that we've already spoke about. But just to give everyone a bit of an understanding, I mean, what have been the main outcomes in that regard so far?
Yeah, so far, just unbelievable. My body is just a completely different shape. I've lost so many inches, and obviously I've lost quite a bit of, so it's about 19 pounds. I'm old-fashioned pounds. I don't even know what that is in kilos, but I think it's about 9 kilos I've lost altogether. Yeah. But also in terms of inches, I've dropped like 2 dress sizes. So from being like a size 18 now, I'm sort of in a 14 comfortably.
Nice.
Which is amazing. That is amazing for me. I've done my little video before about the dresses, but I'm slowly getting.
we have rinsed you a little bit, to be fair.
18 down to size 12 dresses.
You've done so well though. We've had to.
That feeling of I did before we went on holiday. I did a trying on session, because you do again. That's a girl thing. I think trying dresses on that maybe not had been able to wear for a while, sorting out what I was going to wear when I was on holiday, being able to fill a bin bag full of dresses that are far too big for me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And bikinis and swimsuits and things that they were just massive. Put them on, and we were all laughing, like Gwen and I were trying things on. She was like, "Oh my God, Mum, those are like huge on you." And I was like, "Oh gosh, oh, isn't that terrible?" But yeah, that's amazing. That's brilliant. A great feeling, and also makes you want to continue, because I'm still not anywhere near where I'd ideally like to be, and I don't make it about that. Yeah. I'm not trying to. I don't. In terms of my eating, I've seemed to have gotten on top of that. I just don't eat chocolate. What the heck's that about? Hardly ever have chocolate. Maybe chocolate once a week now. Yeah. Because I just don't want it. Yeah. I don't, because I think when you see the results, when you look at when I've never really looked at it, but if you look at on the MyZone, it tells you how many calories you've burned, and then you look at a bar of chocolate. So I don't know, a Mars bar's at 230, and you think that's like half a session that's going to burn that off. Yeah. And it makes you reevaluate what you're putting in your mouth, I think. So I just don't do that.
It's good to hear that you're having it a little bit still, because we don't want people to be too crazy. Not. I don't think, from what I've understood from, I've had a chat, I mentioned to the guys the other day, I said, what's Ali been doing as far as we understand it nutrition-wise? Because I think that's always important to talk about. And as far as they understood from the, it was nothing too crazy, just, cutting down on some of the things that you maybe were having that you knew you didn't need to have. I mean, what have been any of the other changes that you've made nutrition-wise? In
terms of nutrition, So, I've always been a cook. I've always cooked things. I've always been quite healthy in my cooking. So it was never really about that. So I do still make the same meals. I still make spag bol. I still do chili. I make, we have a roast dinner on a Sunday. So those sort of main meals, there's always lots of fruit in the house. We eat a lot of fruit. We eat a lot of vegetables. Have salad. quite often I love a salad.
Yeah.
So that hasn't really changed because I didn't want it to do that, because again, with my life as it is, I'm cooking for everybody and, still do that. I wanted it to be able to be, because I knew that for me it was about the snacking more than anything. It was about like in the car, going to get petrol and grabbing a chocolate bar and a can of Coke or whatever. I was guilty of that. But because I don't think I have those sort of sugar, dips or whatever, I just don't do that. So I think in terms of that. But if I'm out and I'm with friends and we've gone to the garden centre or whatever we're doing, and my usual would have been a latte and a piece of cake, I still do that. Have a latte, still have a piece of cake. I still allow myself those things, but I just don't do it every day.
You just got a better handle on it generally.
I
think that's always the key message from us, and I love whenever I've done these with people, we've always had the same conversation about when people see the result of, I've lost 2 dress sizes, and like, I've lost 9 kilos, whatever it is, like people always think, what have they been doing? Like, what's the new secret or the new trend or whatever? And what we consistently see, the people who are the most successful, is it's never anything too drastic. It's positive changes, cutting down on all the things that you mentioned, you probably shouldn't have been having anyway, but you were, because you're just in that mindset where you're like, it don't matter. And, just eating sensibly and making positive changes. It's good. It's good to hear it's nothing too that you can't see yourself sticking with.
I don't think exactly. It's not sustainable, is it, to do that? For me, in my life currently, for me to have, Victoria Beckham, for example, she's she live on boiled vegetables and fish.
I wouldn't even know,
and that's those are those sort of faddy things. If I did that, I'm sure I could. But what a miserable life that would be.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And you wouldn't have the same effect in terms of your overall well-being, mental health, all those things that you spoke about, just from eating a crazy diet and getting super skinny.
But also, I think a point talking about nutrition, this is the first time ever that I've been on holiday and come back and not had a gain.
Yeah.
So I didn't put any weight on. I wasn't trying not to put weight on, but I just thought, when I got home, I thought I'll weigh myself, and I hadn't put any weight on. And I think, again, because when I was on holiday, and I just chose to eat different things. There's plenty in Tenerife. There was lots of beautiful salads, lots of seafood, and I love all that anyway. So I was just having that, but I wasn't having a dessert. Whereas normally, I think on holiday, you think, I can have tiramisu or whatever it is. Have a lot, an ice cream every day. I'd do that when I was on holiday. I didn't do that. And not in a conscious way. I think just in the back of my mind, I remember thinking, I don't want to undo all this good that I've done by having far too much to eat when I'm on holiday, just because I'm on holiday. I
think for most people with that, a big part that leads to that is how they approach their nutrition in the months, weeks prior. If you've, I've got a holiday come in, I need to lose some weight, like you go on this like crazy dieting regime or whatever, and you've restricted yourself massively, and then you come to the diet and you come to the holiday and you're like, it's like, give me everything. Whereas if you've got a more healthier approach generally, and you're maybe not feeling as restricted as you potentially could have been in the weeks and months prior, there's a bit less of a need to go and overindulge. Just like you said, just because you're on holiday, you probably didn't enjoy yourself any less.
No, I had an amazing time.
So that's good.
I just think, and I didn't feel like I was missing out. I had I'm not a huge drinker anyway, but I had a glass of wine if I wanted one. I think the whole time I was there, I just had one pudding, and I think that was like on the last night. And not because it was the last night, I just thought I fancied something. I had a pudding, and that was it.
Excellent. So you said you're not making it too much about that, but what are your kind of aspirations moving forwards then? Not necessarily just body shape wise, but just generally fitness wise, strength wise. Have you got any particular like targets that you're moving or aiming towards, or is it just a case of continue doing all the healthy things that I'm doing and see what happens?
I think that I think I'm on a good journey. I think I feel like I've got a good regime. I can maintain it. I feel like it's something that I can carry on with. I would really like to be able to run again. That is one of my goals. And we were talking about it yesterday, my son and I, and he does a bit of running, and he said to me, Mum, why don't you just go out, just go and have a little run, see how you get on. I said, oh, Jordan, I still don't feel, because what I don't want to do, because with running, your knees and that sort of thing, when you're heavy, having done a bit of running in the past, I don't want to hurt anything and then put me back, whereas what I'm doing now, is great. I can manage it. I don't have any, nothing hurts, and I feel like I'm doing well. And he said to me, Mum, I think you're doing yourself an injustice. I think you'll be surprised at how strong you are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that you've got, stronger muscles and all the rest of it. He said, I think you should, so I'm not asking you to go out and do, but he said, I think you could possibly run 5K now like you used to quite easily without it being a problem. So I'm going to try. I think maybe next week when I'm, after out of the holiday mode and everything, I'm just going to give it a try. When I've been a runner in the past, I've always liked to run on my own. That's always kind of what I've done. So I feel like I want to try, see how I get on. If I feel that it's okay, then then I would maybe join in. But also I don't want to hold everybody back, because I always feel like the ones that run are probably a bit fitter than I am currently.
No, I get that. And that's always a big concern with stuff like that, especially with running, I think, particularly. But we can talk a bit off air about that. But I definitely think having, increased strength, obviously you've lost weight now, you've got stronger muscles, stronger joints. You probably will find it's slightly easier than it was before. And you just got to start steady. That's always the biggest thing, I think, with most people with their running, is they run too fast and they get frustrated, and, they start really steady, build it up gradually. But we can chat a bit more.
Okay,
thank you. That's cool. Fab. Well, we're going to kind of come towards an end there, because we've took a good amount of your time there, which we very much appreciate. But I'm always interested to find out, what your thoughts would be for anyone who maybe like yourself, maybe has seen us on social media, interested in what we do, interested in kind of experiencing it for themselves. What would be your message to someone who's maybe a little bit on the fence about the whole idea of getting started with us here at MEE-FIT?
I think just come and have a try. That would be my advice. Just be brave. If you're nervous about how you feel, how you look, what people are going to think about you, all of those things that we have as humans, I think. Just come down, come and join a session. There's lots of options, isn't there? You give lots of options for people. They can do a 2-week, they can do a 3-month, they can do all different trials that they can try. Just come and have a chat, come and have a chat, have a look around, talk to people that are already in the gym. There was a lady that came to have a look the other day and I just had a little wave and spoke.
It was appreciate that massively,
because it can be really daunting, and I absolutely get that, but I just think it will be the best thing you've ever done, is to just come through the doors, come and give it a try. It's changed my life, Dan. I know that sounds so dramatic, but it really has changed my life, changed everything about my life, and given me, body confidence. And as I said, I'm not where I want to be, but nevertheless, I do feel just so much better in myself. I feel like a different woman. And that is, in terms of the money and everything that you spend as well, it's just worth everything. I would give up other things if financially things change for me, which you just never know, do you? You could lose your job or whatever. Then the kids are going to be starving because I'm coming to the gym. But I put it. I've never done that before. Put my fitness, health, whatever. But I intend. I'm here for the long run.
Excellent. Yeah. It's probably a part of the reason why you have been so successful, is because you found a way to lift it up in your priorities list. And I think that's a big thing, isn't it? If you sort of, you half-arse it and don't commit properly, it's unlikely to be properly successful. Whereas you have been someone who've, ever since you started, you've got straight stuck into everything. Like you said, you come to the Saturday team, you've done some mobility classes, you do endurance, you use your MyZone belt, like you just embraced everything that we've kind of offered you, and the results have been amazing.
And through encouragement, obviously. I've not done it off my own back. It's it's been totally about encouraging, and I just think anybody that is thinking about it is just come through the door, just give it a try. You will be amazed at what you can achieve. And we all do it at our own pace, don't we? Some people will lose weight really quickly. I mean, I can remember feeling a little bit disheartened in the first month, because I felt, considering I hadn't really been doing very much in terms of exercise, and I'd gone from doing not very much to doing all of that. Even from the beginning, I was doing at least 3 sessions, and I can remember thinking, why am I not losing? Concentrating more on thinking that I was going to lose the weight and then it just seemed to all of a sudden, there was big changes, and then there was not so much, and then I mean, I just think everybody's body's different, isn't it? So
absolutely.
you all, change shape wise and whatever in a different way.
And that's the only ever negative about sharing amazing changes like this, is how other people who might have not have achieved it, it can have a bit of a knock. But I think the message from us in that regard is always, if you're not quite getting the results you want, then come and talk to us, and we'll find out what's going wrong, and try and help you piece it together in terms of where we're going wrong, what are the things we need to do differently. So no, that's an incredible end to that. I feel I appreciate you sharing that with us, and thank you very much for your time today, because
it's been my pleasure.
It's been brilliant from our end to see, and we've been so thankful for you bringing such a great energy, like I mentioned before, and positivity to the place. So it's been great.
If 20 years younger, I'd be asking you for a job. I'd be
well,
honestly, you just think, oh my gosh, I wish I had found this 20 years ago. I really do.
Yeah.
Because it's just, amazing. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
We'll finish it up there.
Thank you.